We're going to talk about it for like a half an hour. But first, there was news from last night. Robert Saleh interviewed with two teams last night, the Arizona Cardinals and the Miami Dolphins. This is interesting because he also has two interviews scheduled for Sunday with Tennessee and Baltimore. In addition, he's Ricky Scoops says he's the front runner with Atlanta. So 5 teams potentially, 4 confirmed. 2 before the game. I'm thinking the ones on Sunday he's also preparing for before the game. It's sort of a reality of the sport. He's not the only guy doing it. The guys with the Rams are doing the same thing before their playoff game, but I don't think it's good at all. It can't help and it could hurt. What do you think about one more thing? What makes it kind of weird is that he was asked about it on Wednesday. He got any interviews lined up this week, and he was like, yeah, on Sunday. Made it seem like he wasn't going to do it before the game, but then he did, which is a bad look too. What do you think of all this?
I don't know why they do this. Like, they even do it in college football. Like when Lane Kiffin left, that's just weird. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know why they don't do it. Like, maybe you guys, like Grant, you know more than me. It's just, why don't they do this after the playoffs are done when there's no football? Why do they do it right now?
Yeah, I mean, because these bad teams want to get a head start and get
they should wait a little bit. They should wait a little bit.
I agree.
If your coach listen, if you want Robert Saleh and he wasn't in the playoffs, go ahead, do whatever the hell you want. But this guy's focused on winning a freaking Super Bowl. Like, he should not be available to speak to right now. Until we lose, then you should speak to Robert Saleh. I don't understand it.
It's crazy too, because he spoke with the Cardinals. It's like they're a division rival messing with the Niners. Like, you're not going to take that job. What are you doing?
No one's going to take that job unless they're stupid.
And he interviewed with the Tennessee Titans. Those are 2 shit organizations. If Robert Saleh went there,
yeah.
Tennessee's
at least they have a quarterback. Titans are tomorrow.
Yes.
Titans are Sunday. Last night was Miami and Arizona. Two
bad organizations. Two bad organizations.
There's like 4-hour interviews, right?
Yeah, they were a long time.
Yeah.
I look, also, they've played Seattle twice, and like, I'll give him credit in like one instance. You already watched the tape versus Seattle, right? Going into the Eagles matchup, like after the game, you already kind of went through what their kind of thing is on offense. They know Kubiak very well, obviously, because he was with the Niners years ago. They know this system. So like, I get why he thinks he can just kind of slack off in like that the defense might be prepared based off the momentum last week. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think Robert Saleh is going to be a good head coach. Like, I don't think he was great with the Jets. I did think he got the short end of the stick because he won 8 games with Zach Wilson. That's hard in of itself, right? But I think he's just like a Steve Spagnuolo. He's just a great DC. He's not D'Amico Ryans. He's not a good head coach, and he's going to get exposed. And it's unfortunate that there's so many head coaching openings. He's going to take one of them. But I agree with Maj. Like, he has to look at it from this point of view. There's like 8 or 9 openings, right? Like, I can wait until after the divisional round game to like Tennessee. What if they hire Mike McCarthy? Who cares? He didn't want Tennessee's job anyways. Falcons, they're not hiring anybody until Kubiak interviews with them, and until the Seattle's out of the playoffs because they have been linked to Kubiak in the past. So a bunch of teams want Kubiak. So I'm just saying they're going to wait for him. What's the difference? I know he's interviewed once, I think, or twice. But I don't think he's had as many substantial interviews as Robert Saleh. Leads me to believe either he's not confident in his defense or he's extremely confident in his defense. And I'm hoping it's that he's extremely confident in his defense.
Well, he can be as confident as he wants. But the problem is, he has these interviews. The real interview is what he does against the Seahawks. And if somehow, they gave up 13 points against the Seahawks week 18, but it should have been 19. They missed 2 field goals. And Darnold messed up like a 1st and goal from the 1. It could have easily been 26 or 27. So if it's 26 or 27 this time and you lose, I wonder what the teams are going to think. Like, hey, man, maybe that was your fault. Remember 3 years ago when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs and they lost? And there were those 2 plays really close to the goal line where it was like Sky Moore or someone would go in jet sweep motion, ball gets snapped, he'd stop, go back. In the flat, it'd be wide open. Caught a touchdown like that, came back to it later on, won the game like that. There were 14 free points given up by Jonathan Gannon, who was not prepared and didn't adjust. And coincidentally or not, he had been interviewing that week. I hate to think. And then he went to the Cardinals. They hired him anyway. So look, if Saleh blows it tomorrow, good news, the Cardinals will still hire you. They still got Arizona, which is maybe why he interviewed with them.
Because he won Arizona.
I feel like John Lynch should have been like, nah, man, don't do it. Say no to Arizona. It's Arizona.
The problem is like this leads me to a question. Like, I know Niner fans are kind of like, yeah, it'd be great if this team wins a Super Bowl, but if they don't, it's already a successful year because of all the injuries. But like next year, you won't have Saleh probably, and you probably have some bum DC like Raheem Morris, who's and it's like Raheem Morris was not a good DC on the Rams. He won a Super Bowl, yeah, because he had prime Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and like guys that could actually play defense. It wasn't because he was a legitimate DC or
Brandon,
Gus Bradley.
Brandon, this is the best year. If Saleh were to leave, this is probably the best year to get a defensive coordinator because there's a lot in the market. Like if this was a couple years ago,
who's on the market?
You know what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna promote Gus Bradley. I would bet
Dude,
you
if they
$5.
do that, I'm not watching the games next year.
They're gonna promote Gus Bradley because they don't want to change the scheme. Kyle's made that so clear. And Gus Bradley is here sort of learning how to do it like Saleh. They're not gonna want to change anything. I bet you, man. I bet you. And that's a problem. Because here's the thing. Everyone thinks that Kyle's better than Nick Sirianni. And I guess he is, although Sirianni won the Super Bowl. But they're similar in the sense that Sirianni's like going to have a different offensive coordinator every year. And sometimes he'll be good and sometimes he'll absolutely suck. Is that not Kyle? I mean, Nick Sorensen last year was the 49ers version of Kevin Patullo. And when Saleh leaves, are they going to have another Nick Sorensen? I mean, Gus Bradley, he's a little bit better than Nick Sorensen, but not much.
Yeah. I mean, Gus Bradley is washed. I mean, he was a great coordinator years ago. Like we're talking about when Pete Carroll was a good football coach. Like this is a different era of football. You know what I mean? Like I'm nervous. Like I don't care if we're healthier. All I know is that they're going to be like the Steve Wilkes defense, where every once in a while they'll be good against the run or the pass rather, but then they'll be 18th against the run. And you can't win Super Bowls when you're 18th against the run. At least this Niners team has been able in like 14 out of 17, or I guess they've played now 18 games. 14 out of 18 games have been able to stop the run pretty much, right? Like they're top 10 in opponent rushing yards given up. So I'm nervous. That's the big thing. I don't care about the like once Bosa plays, you'll get sacks. I don't care about that. I want somebody to stop the freaking run, dude. And we've done a good job at that, even though we're limited in who we have, right? And I think it's because of Saleh. Like you get Bradley in there, you just know it's going to go back to like their 25th in run defense next year. And it's just like,
I just think it's an interesting, like they looked at it as such a blessing to get Saleh back, and it was, but they knew he was going to be a one and done DC. You know what I mean? They knew he was going to be one and done, and they let him like rebuild the whole defense. Hey man, the next DC better like him. And then when you bring in a one and done DC, his ambition will really fuel your whole team to the playoffs. I mean, you've gotten the best out of him, but then when you're in the playoffs, he's interviewing for jobs. And that may or may not affect what you do. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, and the league really should do something about it.